More is an obsession. More power. More speed. More fun.
Oh my God!
More chance to explore the limits of performance. And with its latest supercar, Ferrari is going after more than ever in an effort to redefine performance. This is the £400,000 Ferrari 849 Testarossa, the replacement for the SF90. It's the company's most powerful mass production road car ever, and today we're going to put it through its paces on the road and on the track to find out if this Ferrari, with its old school name and next-gen engine, is the next big leap forward.
First impressions? Well, I hate to state the blindingly obvious here. This ain't going to be a spoiler to you though, I'm sure. This is an exceptionally quick car. And it only took me 2-3 seconds of driving the thing to work out that this is probably going to be one of, if not the quickest cars I have ever sat in. I'd love to demonstrate that for you, but there's a couple of things against me. One is the weather. You might have noticed right now it's chucking it down. A lot of this footage was shot in glorious sunshine, but right at this precise moment, it's raining a lot, and that's not helpful. And the other thing getting in my way of showing off this car's performance is the fact that it's way too fast for the public road. But I can give you a little bit of a guideline about the speed. If you got a cat, go and find it, step on its tail, look at the speed it takes off at, and double it. That's how quick this car is. Don't do that. Don't step on your cat's tail. Just imagine it.
And that's no surprise, because despite its new flashy bodywork, this is essentially an updated version of the SF90 Stradale. It uses a 4-litre twin-turbo V8, which by itself makes 830 horsepower. But that power is supplemented by a 7.4 kWh battery powering 3 electric motors, 2 on the front axle and 1 on the rear, making an additional 220 horsepower.
Total power, 1,050 metric horsepower, 0 to 62, under 2.3 seconds, 2.2 and a bit, 0 to 124 miles an hour, under 6.3, and flat out, this thing will hit 205. I do have to play devil's advocate here a little bit though, because redefine performance, that's their claim. Does it redefine performance? If I was being really cynical, I'd say this is basically just a facelifted SF90 with 50 extra horsepower and about 40 Newton meters more torque. It's nice, it's impressive, but does it change the game?
Well, not during everyday driving. The one downside of having all that power is that it's basically unusable on the public road, unless you want to see the inside of a jail cell.
And that's the issue, because there aren't that many places in the world where you can really unleash this car's performance. I'm on a road right now with a 60 km/h speed limit. I'm doing 40 kph, and second gear, floor it. Yeah, that was 60. I'll try again. I'll do third gear this time. 40 kph, floor it. Yeah, that's 60. There's nowhere you can really fully exploit this car's performance. It's like bringing a chainsaw to slice bread.
So, redefining performance. Jury's still out on that one. But one thing is for certain, it does move Ferrari's design game forward. Where the SF90 was a sleek, understated thing, the 849 is, like it or love it, pure theatre. It's a supercar that looks, to my eyes at least, like a hypercar.
There is so much going on here. This isn't their hypercar, it's their supercar, but I am getting hypercar vibes. Kind of like baby F80. We got this black bar across the front, and we've also got these bumperettes. These are the official names, by the way, and these not only provide protection against bumping into objects, like Citroen C1s, they also divert air into this enormous air intake down the bottom. And then below that, we've got this massive front wing, which is responsible for 10% of front downforce. But that's not all, because under here is something very special, just not very useful.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is the boot. Apparently, it provides 74 litres of storage, which is not a lot. Enough for a couple of maybe very small backpacks, but the 849 Testarossa is not the ideal car for anything more than a weekend getaway. From the side, it just looks like a really angry cab-forward wedge with 20-inch wheels front and rear, 325/30s at the back, two 65/35s at the nose, all with optional tyre lettering in a choice of yellow, red or grey. Some might criticize the lack of Testarossa-style fins on the doors, but these are interesting in their own right, thanks to a deep channel that feeds air 30% faster than it did in the SF90 to an intake and through what are the largest radiators ever used in a Ferrari Berlinetta. The intake itself is a curious piece of design. A vertical strip runs from the upper edge down to the sills, forming a band. Elsewhere, on the rear haunches are two fueling ports, one for petrol and the other for charging the hybrid battery.
At the back, you do get this very lovely glass deck, behind which you can see the engine. It looks almost like a piece of art in a museum, doesn't it? Absolutely brilliant. The name Testarossa, by the way, comes from the Italian for redhead. Testa meaning head and rossa meaning red. And the name harks back to the old red-topped Ferrari engines from back in the day. Other details, we get these very interesting twin tails, which look very spectacular, and also a deployable spoiler that raises up when you need rear downforce, plus twin exhausts with, look at this lovely blue just peeking through. That looks amazing, and also a massive rear diffuser. I think this is a spectacular looking car, and it's better looking than the SF90. Fight me. Let's talk about the interior, because I think it's an area that in many Ferrari supercars and hypercars is sometimes a bit of an afterthought. I'll tell you a story. I actually sat down over dinner last night with the interior designer, a guy called Nicola Bevilacqua, a young guy straight out of uni, first job at Ferrari, and his job is to design the interior of the 849 Testarossa. And I was really keen to see what he came up with. And actually, I think he's done a brilliant job. This looks absolutely fantastic, and it's full of really interesting detail. For example, it's got what they call a sail in the middle, which is this huge fin that runs diagonally up the center console towards the dashboard, and it wraps around the driver to give you the impression you're sat inside a cockpit of a fighter jet. It's useful for the passenger as well. It's somewhere they can hold on to brace themselves when you're chucking them around corners. And if you look really closely, you'll see these kind of knee bolsters on both sides that you can brace your leg against to support yourself when you're going through bends. On top of that, the dashboard is really nicely sculpted. The gear selector looks phenomenal. That's a solid piece of metal that looks really premium. And then the most important thing, by far, I think, is that they've changed the steering wheel. Instead of having haptic buttons like you got on the SF90, you now have physical buttons for just about everything. And that is a big win. Physical start button, check. Physical Manettino, check. The e-Manettino, or the electric Manettino, which lets you change the performance strategy between qualifying mode, performance mode, or hybrid mode, or electric drive mode, is still haptic, but I'll let that slide because the rest of it, really good. Nicola, well done.
Now, if you've ever been lucky enough to drive a Ferrari, you probably know that for every person that looks at you in awe, there are probably 3 or 4 people that think you're not very likable at all. That's Ferrari life. These cars are flashy, they're expensive, and they're loud, and the 849 is no different. But it can be slightly more discreet around town thanks to its dedicated EV mode.
The electric range is 25 kilometers or 15.5 miles, which doesn't sound like a lot, but actually the average commute in the UK is 8 to 10 miles. So realistically, you could actually commute from home to work. Don't do that. Never do that. Never buy an 849 Testarossa and drive it in electric mode. If you do, I'll find you and give you one of them. Sort your life out. Although I suppose there is one advantage of having the plug-in hybrid powertrain, and that is the ability to pull away silently from home without alerting your neighbors or annoying people. Although I still wouldn't do that, to be honest with you. If I buy a 1,050 horsepower Testarossa, I want everyone to know about it. Right, seats, there are 2 types, the race seat and the comfort seats. These are the comfort ones, electrically adjustable. It's got lumbar support, adjustable bolsters, really good. I could sit in this for hours. Steering, nice and light. Loads of tech as well. It's got blind spot indicator, adaptive cruise control, automatic braking, reverse cross traffic alert, speed BP warning thingy, which you can switch off by holding down this button on the steering wheel and then pressing OK twice. I think I'll do that right now. But it's got all the tricks you'd expect on a modern car. Even the stereo's good, which isn't always the case in modern Ferraris.
But as good as it is, and as drivable as it might feel, the 849 does sometimes feel like a fish out of water on the public road. It's too fast, too powerful, and offers too much temptation for shattering the speed limit. So, if we are to test Ferrari's claim that it redefines performance, then there really is only one place to do that. This is Monteblanco Race Circuit in Seville, Spain, and it's a great place to stretch this car's legs. Today, the pit lane is teeming with activity. Here, the great and the good of automotive journalism have assembled, all with the same purpose, to feverishly pretend they're doing actual work. To form their impressions of the latest, greatest Ferrari. You might have noticed they've given us a different colour car. In fact, it's a different car altogether. This is the 849 Testarossa with the Assetto Fiorano package. Basically the track pack, which makes this the most aggressive version of the Testarossa there is. Love this livery, by the way, but there's carbon fibre absolutely everywhere. Carbon across the front, carbon on the front splitter. It's actually got carbon wheels. Those look amazing and expensive. Carbon side skirts, a carbon corset. Never thought I'd say those words ever. But also a more aggressive version of the twin tails you found on the road car. Look at these. Carbon there, plus lightweight Lexan glass, and the whole thing weighs 30 kilograms less than the road car. It also comes with a helmet. It doesn't, but I found a helmet because I am gonna need one. Let's go for a drive.
Okay, time to let the big dog eat. No speed cameras, no police, just me, an empty track, and 1,050 horsepower to play with. 1,050 horsepower! Ferrari's F1 car has about 1,000 horsepower. This thing, 1,050. Absolutely mental. So the first thing you notice is definitely the speed of the thing. So rapid. It really gets a move on this car. Historically, supercars have tended to be rear-wheel drive, which means you've got to be so patient on the accelerator when you exit a corner. But with this, you can kind of take liberties with it. Just mash the throttle and off it goes. Look at this, I'm on the exit. Foot flat to the floor. And here we go. Oh my God, fifth. Sixth gear. 250, 260, 270, 280 on the brakes. Absolutely sensational. What's really impressive is that there's no turbo lag. You get to a corner, you accelerate, and those front motors haul you along. Then the rear motor pushes you. Then the internal combustion engine explodes into life. It's just one continuous surge of aggression. Dear Lord, it's a quick car. Right, I'm back on the straight. 180, 190, 200. The numbers are going up quicker than I can count. 245, 260, 270. Brake. And let's talk about those brakes, shall we? Because they are massive. 410 millimeters on the front, 372 millimeters on the back. Carbon ceramics, of course. And they're so effective. The brakes are massively complicated. You've got the rear motor harvesting energy, replenishing the battery. You've also got the physical brakes. And then of course you've got the brake-by-wire system. So there's so much going on. And it could be a recipe for just confusion really, but it feels incredibly cohesive. Whew. Lord have mercy. Oh, it's playful as well.
And speaking of playful, it does like to drift. The car has a serious side, but select CT off and it will slide all day long in a managed, controlled way that's a lot like drift mode. Here, it's very difficult to actually lose the car. Just floor it out of a corner and the onboard computers do the rest. Of course, you can also turn the systems off completely, but with 1,050 horsepower on tap, you'll have to exercise plenty of skill and caution.
You know the best thing about this car, baby? My favorite thing? The gearbox. Wang! Second, third, fourth, fifth, all the way up to sixth. Seventh gear. And it just sounds so good as well. You get to the red line, you grab a gear, and you hear that snarl from the engine as you shift up. Fabulous. Modern cars, definitely quieter than they used to be, but this thing, that flat plane crank is screaming. It's a nice noise.
What's impressive is how easy it is to drive, even on the limit. The SF90 was, in some people's eyes, a bit on the mad side. Powerful, but maybe lacking in cohesion, as if it couldn't quite handle its power unless in the hands of an expert. This car feels sorted and easy to exploit, and part of the reason for that is a new system called the Ferrari Integrated Vehicle Estimator, aka 5. Essentially, it's an onboard suite of hardware and software that allows the car to know exactly what's happening while you drive in terms of speed, yaw, grip, and more, and how to adjust its systems and behavior for the best possible outcome.
What does that mean? I have absolutely no idea, but I know a man who does.
Andrea, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So you're responsible for vehicle dynamics for all the mid-engine Ferraris, right?
Yep. Yes,
Okay.
I am.
So this is the man I need to talk to. Andrea, the 5 system.
Yep.
Can you just explain to me what it is and what it does?
The 5 is an estimator. We built up it for the F80, and this is the first regular car that bring it on the range. It's an estimator that gives us the possibility to make you feel natural the car. You know, we push a lot on virtual development. This is something that we strongly believe in. So when we work at the simulator, we say, okay, why did we don't use the same model to the real car in order to push the limit higher? So we simplify the model, we put the model in the car, and basically we have the possibility to estimate some states of the vehicle in a better way.
So basically what you're doing is all the data that you use for the simulator is already on the car, and you're using it to actually affect the performance on the track.
Yeah, it is. Basically, in the model, we have all the elastokinematic components, simulator. Basically, it's simplified because we need to run it on real time, on real world. But the important thing is that with the physical signal that we have from the 6D platform and from the each wheel speed, we are able to estimate in a very good way the speed of the center of gravity on the car. In this way, we're able to understand what each corner is performing in terms of longitudinal and lateral grip, and each actuator in the best way possible. I'm talking about the torque vectory for the front, the electronic differential for the rear, the traction control, and so on.
So it's like almost a video game, but in real life, right? So you've
Yeah.
got all the software and the data, and the car is behaving like you would expect the car to behave in a simulator, but in real life.
Yeah, and we can correct all the action that we are putting in order to control the driver demand. This is very important for us. Make the driver simple life, have a clear input, and for us a clear output in order to feel you natural and fast.
Wow, amazing. Right, I'm going to go away and try and remember everything you've just said and see if it actually works, all right?
Yeah,
Thank
you
you
will.
very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
I think one of the big takeaways is that this car is surprisingly easy to drive. The SF90, by all accounts, was a bit of an animal that was quite difficult to get the most from. A bit spiky, some people said. This thing's different, it's more powerful, it's more capable, but at the same time, it feels very, very willing to let you get away with murder.
The 849 seems to know exactly what's technically possible on the track and what you want to achieve, and will help you achieve it. Whether that's using the traction control systems, the brakes, or the cornering and torque vectoring with the help of those electric motors, and it makes it all very easy.
Oh my God! Yo! Right, let's try the brakes. Boom! That's incredible. Normally, at the end of a big braking zone like that, you'd feel the rear end fishtailing around. But not in this thing. It is glued down. That's incredible. Dear Lord. I'm giggling like an absolute fool. It's so much fun to drive. Right, we'll see if we can slide it a bit, turn in, bang the throttle. Oh my God, all day long. There are certain parts of the track that are a bit wet, so you do have to be a little bit careful. But the car, especially in CT mode, it's a bit like having drift mode really, because it just looks after you. When I first got into the 849 Testarossa, I expected Ferrari's definition of redefining performance to mean that it was just a bit of a savage. More power, more aggression, obviously more speed. Yikes! But it's more than that. I think redefining performance means the car's able to deploy the potential that it has in a way that feels much more natural than it used to.
Of course, clever onboard computers can only do so much, and the tyres will eventually start to overheat if you continue to push lap after lap.
I think I'm losing the tyres a bit here. It is easy to drive, but not in a way that makes the car feel benign or tame. It's still an absolute beast, but it feels like it's working with you rather than against you, and that is a big, big advantage.
And that approach makes sense. These cars are so incredibly powerful now that giving drivers free rein to 1,050 horsepower is just going to end in tears. Car companies have to be so much smarter about deploying the power and using the speed, and the 849 does it to a T.
How does it compare to the likes of the Lamborghini Revuelto or even the 296 GTB? I'd say it feels faster. It feels tidy. It feels brutal and aggressive, and importantly, it feels really, really, really rewarding. Let's go! My goodness. Insanity. I'm sweating. My mind is racing. And my adrenaline is absolutely pumping. The 498, what is this car? The 4 what? I don't know what, the 849, my brain scrambled. The Testarossa is next level. It really is next level.
So, has Ferrari redefined performance? In terms of more aggression, more theatre, and more speed? Yes, to an extent. But the real gains, the moments where the Testarossa feels genuinely different, come from how it deploys its potential. This isn't a supercar that simply gives you more performance and expects you to deal with it. It's a car that gives you more permission, more opportunities, to use more of what it has and what it can do, more of the time. And in the world of modern supercars, that's the most important type of more there is.
Hey guys, I'm back in the UK now after my drive in the 849 Testarossa, and I'm still buzzing. What a car. If you enjoyed this video, then please do leave me a like and a comment. It really helps the channel. And also, check out the Autotrader app. If you want a Ferrari of your own, then maybe get an SF90 if you've got 270 grand lying around. Or if you don't, then check out the cheapest Ferrari on Autotrader, which is actually less than the cost of your average new family car. If it's time for a change, then maybe it's time for Autotrader. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.